All right, everybody, welcome back to the Dane and Wayne show.
Yes, episode number 11, Dane. Wayne. Dane.
I'm Wayne, he's Dane.
I know, I couldn't. Get it straight, man. Get it straight. Episode number 11, We're excited. How you feeling this week? How was your week?
It's been an interesting week.
It has been.
But Birds had a nice win.
Birds did have an excellent win at home.
It could have been more excellent if they had put the team away when they could have. There's some things out of their control, but we'll get to that. But yeah, it ended up being a little ugly because it came down to the end with
last possession. It came down to
the interception in the end zone,
which I think we all can agree we don't feel it should have came down to that.
No,
but
apparently that's what the Jaguars do. They put a stat up there that 5 of their games have come down to less than 5 points.
Okay, all right.
It's been 5 points or less they've lost by. So yeah, it happened again. Dougie P keeps him in the games. I really thought he was going to be fired at halftime. I mean, it was.
You said that.
It was bad. Like, man.
It was 22-0?
Yeah, I think it was.
No, it was 17. No, it was 16.
16-0.
16-0. Should have been 17.
Should have been 17.
Somebody tried to make it 18.
Yeah, we'll get to that too.
Right.
But yeah, we'll start with the good, which was
what was the good?
N'Kobe Dean's interception.
Sick interception.
Devontae Smith's crazy catch.
Sick one that had to catch in the back of the end
That
zone.
made me jump out of my seat. And then the other thing that made me jump out of my seat, like everybody else, was the
Saquon video game hurdle.
My kids were even excited. Like,
oh, wow.
I jumped out of my seat, and they were like, "Did you just see that?" I was like, yeah, I have been watching football for almost 40 years now.
Yeah, at least.
And I've never seen anything like that.
I've never seen the reverse spin hurdle.
That was insane.
And the juke. Saquon's a monster.
Yeah.
Which we knew we were getting somebody special, but to see the talent like that kind of just do what it's supposed to do or do what he did is definitely like crazy.
Yeah.
So definitely excited. How do we want to break down like the phases, offense, defense, coach? Where do you want to start?
Yeah, so I guess the offense we'll start with.
Okay.
I think that they were bailed out by their talent, even though AJ went out with what was that, a knee or a hamstring?
What does he have?
Or something?
A knee. I think they said it's a knee.
Yeah,
and he's listed as day to day. He's been practicing all week,
so I think he'll be okay. But Devontae with the sick catch, like we talked about. I felt like it was an overthrow, but somehow he got there.
Stuck his arm out.
Yeah, and it was 3rd and 22. It's just like
you were like, "Yo, did he close his eyes?"
Yeah,
no, that was real talent.
Exactly.
That was real talent.
But that first 4th down that they went for, and they AJ Brown had that little crossing route, and he had beaten his man and would have been a touchdown with a decent throw. But Jalen, for some reason, threw it off his back foot. He really wasn't really getting pressured that much. He kind of panicked, and he just kind of winged it out there and
left it up there.
Yeah, and the defensive back closed on it and knocked it down. But it would have been a touchdown if you saw the end line camera.
Did. Yeah.
So yeah, that those kinds of things. Jalen had an up and down game. It was pretty inconsistent.
No turnovers. That's 4 straight games without a turnover.
Right. But is he being too conservative? I don't know.
All right.
I don't know if I want to say that much.
No.
Now. He's taking his checkdowns to Saquon, which is great. I was yelling at him to do that in the first 2 games.
He wasn't doing that in the first 2 games.
Exactly.
He was looking to hold on to the ball and be Superman.
Yeah.
And he looks like he's toned that down just a little bit.
Just a little bit. He still does it every once in a while. But yeah, he's taking his checkdowns, and Saquon just does what Saquon does, and he's able to turn those into 8, 9, 10-yard gains sometimes when you don't think that he's going to.
Absolutely. He had a nice run on a touchdown as well.
That was
got
great.
into the end zone.
Yeah.
So
I did really like that call. He showed the speed that he does have, and he still possesses.
Speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like he decides when he wants to use the speed and when he wants to kind of just tone it down. It's quite interesting.
To me, over the last 4 weeks, I feel like the game looks like it's slowed down a little bit to him, where he's not rushing his throws. He's seeing it before it's open.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you still see him might throw off his back foot. You might see him sail a ball, but he's kept the turnovers to 0, which is what we asked for. Yeah. And I feel like he's playing consistent. He's trusting the running backs. He's trusting Devontae to get open down the field. Yep. And just doing what they're supposed to do. And they're running the ball, which is what the city asked for.
Yeah.
So.
They had over 200 yards of rushing It was that was great. Yeah, like I called for that after the last game.
Absolutely.
I was like,
absolutely.
yeah, they might not have a great secondary, Jacksonville, but like don't play into their
No.
don't just change your game plan because they have a poor secondary. Do what you do best, and they did.
Which they
So,
did. They ran the ball
I'm not
and got open throws and hit open
Yeah.
throws when they needed to hit open
I won't
throws.
complain about that too much.
So do we?
Yeah.
Let's see, coach or the defense next?
Well, I'll go the defense.
All right, defense.
Defense.
Who do we want to give an A on the defense, or who showed up on the defense that you like this week?
Quinyon Mitchell, incredible still.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he had one target against him for 11 yards, or not target, but one catch on
For 11 yards.
Yeah, for 11 yards on, and it was like a speed out that it was really hard. I mean, those are tough when the quarterback and the receiver are
on the same page.
Yeah, they're
like
in sync
that.
on that.
Yeah,
It's really hard to
absolutely
defend
absolutely.
those. But otherwise, I mean, he was great, and I don't miss Darius Slay. Like I either I texted it to you or I wanted to. I was just like
No.
Rodgers played great. And I didn't notice
and
anything.
Look like they're in sync
Yeah.
back there, and Slay to me is on the back end of his career.
Yeah.
So anything that he does, I think, is a bonus. He has the leadership for being, a veteran player, so he's going to give that to him.
Anything he does as a bonus is tough for a cornerback. An outside cornerback, you can't just say anything that he gives us. Like that'd be good for a nickel or maybe your safety back there that is covered, but this guy's being asked to lock down outside receivers. And
Now, did Maddox get burnt? Did we see Maddox on the field?
Gosh.
All right, we did. Because
I feel like he was on – I don't know. I didn't look at the snap counts, but I feel like he was on the field for one play. They ran dime
terrible.
one time.
It was terrible.
And he got called for a penalty.
And we were like, why is Maddox on the field?
He got burnt and got called for a penalty and almost ruined the game.
No, absolutely. I remember that because it was in the fourth quarter when they were driving.
Like he's really the fourth – I mean, you can't put Ringo or Ricks or somebody out there, like Sidney Brown even.
Sidney Brown forced that early turnover
that was
and
great.
got him some first quarter points. They've been asking for first quarter points since
they
like
might
week
not have
one.
had any. Just had he
Had
not
that
gotten
not happened.
Yeah, because he immediately put them in field goal range.
so
yeah, I just feel like maybe just put Ringo out there. I don't care if he's not used to the slot. I mean, he's got to be.
better.
This is what I said about Cooper DeJean last time. Like Avonte Maddox has. Yes, he was great before his injuries, but he's had so many injuries, and he is not the same player.
He's lost at least.
Put Ringo out
whole
there.
step.
Put the Ringo out there in the dime. Like make him your sixth defensive back. I don't know why they keep trotting Maddox out there.
I mean, they want to give him a shot, but I feel like the younger players and have it pretty buttoned up from what I've seen in the last 4 weeks.
Yeah, DeJean's been
Bond played well at the linebacker spot.
He was all over the field.
Dean had a sick game-ending interception, which everybody was like, "Yo, he just saved the game."
Yeah,
because I mean, I think you texted me like, "Yo, here we go again."
Yeah,
and I kind of had to be like, "It's okay."
Nah, yeah, I was trying to stay positive.
You were trying to fall off the bridge. I'm like, no.
Like, all right, if they're gonna score, then let them score fast so you can have the chance to go back down and score. But
I think it was giving them Atlanta Falcons flashback is what they were thinking.
Yeah.
So defense looked buttoned up.
Yeah.
Offense looked tidy.
Now we got to the coach.
About the head coach. Because what's the Birds' record? 6-2. 6-2. All right. Yeah. So should be positive about the coach.
Yeah.
Silence.
It's just okay. So I agreed with maybe half of his calls on like to go for it on fourth.
Mm-hmm.
But so like the first fourth down I was okay with. Missed it. That's what we were talking about with AJ Brown. It was a good play call. Would have been a touchdown.
And the cornerback just
wasn't
made up the ground.
Wasn't a good throw
and knocked it out.
Yeah.
So.
Can't
fault him on that one.
On the touchdown that they got the penalty on the extra point and moved it closer, I actually agree. I would go for that.
You would have.
Because, they have an unstoppable play that hasn't been stopped yet.
Can I ask a question? Is that play unstoppable
now?
In the consistency that it was?
Not with Kelsey.
Okay.
But over the last couple of weeks, they have been.
True.
They have been 90-something percent.
Because it worked, twice or maybe 3 times? It works twice against the Giants, I remember that.
It's been working.
And then it worked at least once against Cincinnati.
It's been working fine, and people have been saying that they haven't skipped a beat without Kelsey. But, hey, I saw a little bit about how the Jags stopped it, and they basically did a push the opposite direction.
Okay.
So they had their linebackers pushing their defensive tackles
into the Eagles' backfield.
So it was like a dual push. I still think that he scored on that one that was really close, and the replay just didn't give it
justice,
to him.
And the rest
they didn't have a
good
overturn
that.
I still don't understand how we're in 2024 and we are working with camera angles that are offset from the goal line.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a chip in the ball to show us if it crossed the plane.
Come on, you're talking about 2050 football.
No.
You're like, come on.
They do it in
AI,
soccer.
And I'm not talking about Allen Iverson.
They do it in soccer.
They do.
They do it in soccer with the.
They do.
If the ball crosses, they have a little watch thing that buzzes on their wrist that says it crossed. Why can't we do that?
NFL's got money for it.
Absolutely,
they definitely got money for it. So
maybe,
stop being cheap, Roger.
Maybe he's just team content and he just wants like this controversy rather than
it's entertainment. Though
it's entertainment.
They
it's
want
content.
That entertainment.
Yeah, we wouldn't be talking about it right now if they had a chip in the ball, or they do. I feel like they do have a chip in the ball. They just don't use it for this purpose.
I got you.
But anyway, yeah. But then like when it was a 4th and inches, and they did some speed out, and
that
Jalen
one I
was
hated.
running around.
That one I hated.
And
I was like, take the points, Nick. Nick, take the points, man.
Either take the points or do the tush push again. Like, come on.
Points. I have never in my life, Wayne, seen a 6-2 football team that they want the coach fired.
Yeah, I know.
I've never seen it. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the disgruntledness of the loss from the World Series in 22 with all the Sixers craziness and then union craziness. I don't know what it is, but like every single person, like they're like, yeah, we won, but I want Sirianni gone.
Because you see that he's just making weird decisions.
Plays. I told you what they should do. Hook the video game simulation up to him.
Ask Madden. Have the Ask Madden button.
The Ask Madden button. It's foolproof. You know what I mean? He can't go rogue or put a shot collar on him.
Yeah, I said on the trade deadline they should trade Bryce Huff for a new
for what?
Like a new AI server, a new something that can tell him the right way to do this, and not with his own, like he has his own chart. Like, come on.
The thing is that is crazy though, and I said this to you on Monday. He doubled down on that. He's like, I have the balls. I get to make the decisions. Yo, we know you the coach. Nobody's arguing that you're the head coach.
Right.
We're talking about simple NFL coaching decisions.
Yeah.
Which in that situation, you're 16 and you kick the extra point. That's 17, right? So you're up 3 scores.
Yeah.
Is 17 better than 18? Aren't you still up? Like, what is the
16 is not better than or 7 because 16 is a 2-score game.
Okay.
So yeah, you reduce it to a 2-score game, which that's the other side of it that I understand.
Okay.
But when they went for a 2 later in the game to try to make up for the previous ones,
you're chasing points.
I
you're chasing
really didn't
points,
like that
and you
one.
wanted to break the TV.
Yeah.
This isn't like that. Stop chasing the points, Nick. Just take the points. Man.
I would have liked to have seen the odds of Jake Elliott hitting that 57-yarder versus making a 4th and 3 from whatever the
a reasonable distance. Okay.
Like what was the difference? And I don't know.
All right.
Because like giving it or kicking the field goal actually gives him more, like 5 more yards further field position. Like if you miss it.
Yes.
Instead of if you miss the 4th down.
No, absolutely.
I don't know. It was tough, but yeah.
Overall, how do we feel with the 6-2 record? Though?
Well, the problem is what we've asked them or what we've asked Sirianni to do is just not be the story. Like just stay out of it. Like after the Browns game, he stopped yelling at the fans, but now he's
reinserted himself.
Yes,
and said,
exactly.
I get to make the big decisions.
Exactly.
We know, Nick.
Like the story should be Saquon's reverse
ridiculous triangle huddle.
Yeah.
Circle
and
spin.
Devontae's
ridiculous
catch.
one-handed catch. I texted you it's one of the catches of the year.
Yeah.
I think it might be.
It shouldn't be about Sirianni leaving 8 points on the field.
On the field. No, absolutely.
And turning it into a 5-point game. I mean, it would have been over, but
absolutely. So transitioning, are we wrapping up offense, defense, special teams?
I wanted to touch a little bit on that Saquon fumble.
Oh, you know what? No, yes. Can we please?
We don't usually talk about the refs too much.
No,
but God,
how do you feel about that?
But the explanation after the game was that because. So yes, the defender touched him, but then they said he stumbled because he tripped over his own player.
Yes, I heard that, but
he didn't. I mean, if you watch it at full speed, he gets touched and he stumbles. It wasn't like touch and then he does a juke move and then falls. It was like he started to stumble, tripped even more, and then jumped to try to get as many yards as he could.
So they tried to explain it and say that once he got tripped, that his momentum took him into the back of his player, and his back of his player is what caused him to fall forward and then on the ground.
That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
It's entertainment, yo.
I guess.
It's entertainment.
But I think I texted you. I'm like, there's no way this crew is getting any playoff games.
No.
How poor they were. Holy cow.
But anytime Jaguar touchdown, though, I'll be quiet.
Yeah. All right. I don't want to hear about that.
Sorry.
Oh, man.
For educational purposes.
I was standing there in front of the TV with just my hands on my head, just like,
when I saw it happen, I was like, oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
And it wasn't just the play stands. The play was confirmed.
It was right away. It took, maybe 5 seconds. They looked at it and they were like, touchdown.
Yep, good. Yep.
So refs, don't make that silly call. That wasn't a fumble. We're tidying up offense, defense, and special teams. Who do they play this week?
Oh, man.
Dallas Cowboys?
They play the Cowboys, who are in a bit of a free fall.
Does anybody care about the Cowboys anymore?
Well, they making fun of them. And the trade they made this week for Jonathan Mingo for a 4th-round pick. A guy that couldn't get on the field over an undrafted receiver.
Crazy.
Just
crazy.
Yeah, I don't understand. What did DeAndre Hopkins get? A 5th or a 6th or a 7th? Like a pick swap of 7th?
I think it was 4th or 5th. I think you might be right about that. And he scored 2 touchdowns on Monday night, which is so. But I mean, Dallas is in a free fall right now. But the thing is, the Eagles haven't won in Dallas in
a long time.
4 years?
Yeah.
So,
and maybe everybody will step up with the backup quarterback in there.
Who's the Cooper Rush?
Cooper Rush. He's 5-1 as a starter. His 1 loss is against the Eagles, which is nice. But
all right.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. I don't know how they'll come out. I mean, they're usually good at home, but this year
they're terrible at home.
They're terrible at home or no wins.
When we first started, talking on the podcast, I feel like the Dallas was undefeated at home. And after, who did they beat? Was it they blew out Cleveland, and then I think the Saints spanked the Saints, beat them over the head. And since then they haven't. And the Saints fired their coach. Saints are falling apart.
Yeah,
and Dallas can't get out of their own way. Dak tore his hamstring. He's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. So, what do we feel? Are we worried about anything Dallas can do?
You're always worried about Dallas because it's Dallas.
Dallas is Dallas. And it's in Dallas. So
they're
going to be ready for the game.
Doesn't matter how bad either of the teams are. It's still a big game.
That's true.
Is it the Brady game this week?
That I don't know. That's a good question.
I know it's at 4:25, so it's a national game.
It probably would be Tom Brady then if it's that 4:00 game, like you said.
But yeah, it doesn't matter. Like I said, how good the teams are. It's always big. It's always a rivalry game that exceeds expectations.
7-point spread though. So
but I said that was before Dak went down, and it hasn't moved.
It hasn't moved. No, you said it should go to 10.
I was like, why isn't it 10 with Dak out?
No, but that means that there's some play in there, like you said. It's a rivalry game.
Yeah.
So both teams should show up for work.
Micah's coming back.
Yeah. So Micah and CD might play.
Yeah.
So I feel like the Cowboys' run defense, and we've talked about this, is garbage this year.
It is.
So Saquon should be able to do what he does.
Zimmer, I was annoyed when they got Zimmer because I really thought he was a good coordinator. And he would kind of pick up where Quinn left off.
No.
But he really is not.
But Dallas didn't make any huge. They signed Zeke and one of maybe two other people in the offseason. So Dallas came into the season looking for trouble.
Yeah, but they knew they can't really pay anybody.
Not anymore. They've paid Dak and they've paid CD.
And, so we'll see what they do with Micah. But it's kind of like the Kellen Moore revenge game.
Kellen Moore was there last year or 2 years ago?
2 or 3 years ago. I think he was the LA Chargers offensive coordinator for 2 years after that. But
no, you're right.
Kind of Mike McCarthy was a little bit like, I'm going to take over the play call duties and let him go, kick him to the curb. So I might feel
that means he should come out and really put it on him then this week. He's going to be, because he knows the offense inside out that they run. It's not like McCarthy has changed his offense over the last 3 seasons.
Yeah,
it looks the same.
Right.
So
on paper, it should be a nice win, but you never know. You never know with Dallas.
I'm taking the Birds this week, and I'm pretty confident.
All right.
I don't feel any kind of worry. I feel like as long as Nick stays out of the way, and I don't need him to stay out of the way. I need him to be in the game plan, but just take the points if they're there, run the ball, throw the ball, play action, and I think they should take care of business in Dallas without any problems.
Okay.
Is how I feel.
All right. Very good.
So,
all right.
What's next on the dock?
We got to move on to the black sheep of the city.
What is the black sheep of the city? What happened? Tell me.
I don't know. Full of drama right now.
Oh, is it as the Sixer turns? It's on the next episode of As the Sixer Turns. It's a little drama soap opera, man.
Yeah.
Tell me what's going on in the locker room, Wayne.
In the locker room, there are fights going on between star players and reporters.
Media members? What? I didn't hear about that. Let me stop. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How did this even happen?
Okay, so Marcus Hayes, this smug reporter, he's been on the...
Marcus Hayes been around in Philly for a minute.
He's been around for a while.
He's been around for a minute.
I don't even know why he has a credential because I didn't ever think he was a Sixers beat writer or anything. But
he's done it.
Whatever.
He's been in them Philly streets.
Yeah. So he's been around for a long time. Started with Daily News Live.
I used to watch that.
Back in the late 90s.
97, 98.
That's back when like
Comcast
Sportsnet first came out. And they had this 90-minute program where they had the Daily News writers there. And
he was always hating.
Oh, gosh. He would just
hate.
Always thought he was the smartest man in the room.
hate.
And I always got a weird vibe from him back then. And then he kind of, like you said, he wasn't on the beat anymore. He was just writing columns. And he decided to take a shot at Embiid for not playing yet, for continuing his ramp up, which we agree.
We've been grinding Embiid to a pulp in the city, man.
But he took it too far.
No one else in the city took it to where he took it.
Marcus Hayes decided to bring up Embiid's son, whose namesake comes from Embiid's brother who passed away.
Yep. In his rookie season.
So to bring up your family, to bring up your kid and your brother who passed, just a line you don't cross.
Don't cross that line. When you start with the family, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
It's going to be a problem.
So should Embiid have taken it that far to shove him, push him, whatever he did? No, you don't. I really like what Jason Kelce said on Monday Night Football, the pregame, about what happened over the weekend.
Because he had an episode as well.
He had a run-in with a hater, with a stupid college kid.
That dude needs to be...
And, yeah, the kid needed it. But I really like that Kelce, he didn't apologize to the kid. He just said, I didn't live up to my own expectations. I met violence with violence.
Hate with hate.
Or hate with hate.
Yeah.
And yeah,
no
should Embiid have done that? No. He shouldn't have taken that far.
Right.
But Marcus Hayes should never have taken his article that far. So, yeah.
So to touch on exactly what you just said, or just continue what you just said, Marcus Hayes sat at his desk, sat at his tablet in the afternoon or morning, wrote that piece, gave it to somebody, and was like, yo, is this cool? and the person, did
Yeah.
somebody okay it, or did Marcus Hayes was like, yeah, this is good?
I'm sure an
You know what I'm
editor had to
saying?
read it, but
how in
they're
your
all team
brain,
content. They're all entertainment value,
nah,
right?
that's not entertainment. That is, no, that's trash.
It is.
That's garbage.
I know, but
no, that is
who are we talking about right now? The Inquirer? They got some quality people, but I mean, come on. It's legacy media, and yeah,
accurate.
Right.
Accurate. We don't gotta say nothing else. No. But other than that drama, how do we? It's been a super rough week for the Sixers.
Yeah.
Because what else is going on? Embiid's hurt. George came back this week.
Yeah.
George looks mediocre at best.
He needs his ramp up to continue.
Yeah, I hear the word ramp up one more time. I'm gonna break this microphone. All right, so George needs a ramp up, and then last night Maxey strains his hamstring.
Yep.
Word is 2 to 3 weeks.
Yep.
Best case scenario, soft tissue injury.
Yeah, he's gonna be hanging out with Dak on their hamstrings.
And then I saw a stat which I just talked to you about. Nurse without Embiid in the lineup is 13 or 16 and 33. Yep. Now, come on, Nurse. Like did we bring in who did we brought in a coach that we thought, granted, missing Joel Embiid is a huge part of missing your lineup, but to me that seems kind of like a crazy odd number to lose that many games, and that means that if Embiid's in the lineup, you can chalk it up as a loss.
Yeah.
Granted.
Okay. So Nick Nurse.
Yeah.
He won a title, right? Or
correct,
no?
Which is.
Who did he have when they won the title?
Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi was shooting
Michael
it felt
Jordan.
like 99%.
Like he was MJ in his prime.
When they played the Sixers, every time down the floor, he was just hitting
do
shots.
That left-right crossover, that layup.
And just
he was pulling from the corner.
The basket crazy. Looked like a pond to him. Like he was just
Kawhi was murder.
Yeah. So have we seen Nick Nurse do anything without a superstar performance, without a otherworldly performance
athlete from an athlete? No. Right. So
I don't know why we're expecting him to be this.
I'm not expecting him to be Greg Popovich, but I would like him to execute and but you know what?
Yeah.
If I'm blaming the coach, that's probably the stupid thing to do. The players got to execute on the floor.
They're shooting horribly.
They're last in the NBA in 3 points.
Absolutely.
Field goal percentage, all of it.
I haven't been staying up for these games on the West Coast, but I wake up and I read the box score.
Or
it's
I'll send you a crazy
25
meme, and you're like, all right, I guess the Sixers lost again.
25% from three again. Jeez.
Stop.
So Embiid's not going to fix that.
No.
He's not going to fix the shooting percentage.
He's got to ramp up to get
and
there.
It's not like they're not getting open looks.
They are.
So, yeah.
It's November 7th.
Yeah. What do you always say?
Basketball season don't start till Christmas Day.
There you go.
All right. So we're going to be all right.
They still got plenty of time.
Hopefully we can get it together. And Embiid's supposed to play against the Knicks next week. So we're something to look forward to. No more hitting reporters. Reporters, stop bringing up family members. You know, let's just leave all of that stuff alone. Don't greet hate with hate. Just let's be positive.
Yep.
This segment is brought to you by Jambuck Apparel Company. They believe that looking good should never mean sacrificing comfort. Their collection features fits designed specifically for the modern man. Whether you're lounging at home, hitting the gym, or heading out for a casual night, their versatile pieces have got you covered. Visit jambuckapparel.com to inquire about their new arrivals.
Don't be like this guy. It's time to call out our most valuable hater of the week.
I think we already hit our most valuable hater.
You want me to go into our most valuable hater?
You want to go in on Marcus Hayes more than we already did?
I mean, I definitely want to say,
okay.
Marcus, you can't do that. Marcus is definitely the most valuable hater for probably the next 2 to 3 weeks. Leave people's families out of it, man. If you want to talk about the man that he can't shoot, that he doesn't show up to work, that his stomach hurts sometimes and he doesn't show up to work, okay. But no, you cannot bring up somebody's deceased family member under no circumstances. I give you 4 thumbs down, and you're definitely the hater for a couple weeks. and that weirdo kid in Happy Valley. You go in the trash as well.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah. So. He's our second hater of the week.
He gets there's a 1A and 1A minus.
Oh, man.
Both of you go in the garbage. But so next topic.
Well, the next topic we wanted to it dovetails nicely into the Marcus Hayes interaction because he has kind of been a troll his whole career. He's a hater. He's a troll. He just
he wouldn't call himself a hater or a troll.
No,
he's
like,
not. I report.
Yes, I report the facts. And he'll sit there giving you a 20-minute diatribe about his credentials.
He did like to throw his credentials on the table.
Anyway.
This segment is presented by Mountney. Looking to elevate your e-commerce business? Discover Mountney.com, your premier partner in fulfillment solutions in 3PL services. Our seamless integration of print-on-demand and third-party logistics ensures your products are managed and delivered with precision. Trust Mountney to handle the details so you can focus on growing your brand. Visit Mountney.com today and experience fulfillment without limits.
Drafting the best of the best. Here's this week's podium.
All right, so our podium of the week is the biggest trolls in media. It can be local, it can be national. Who's your biggest troll?
Biggest troll? Stephen A. Smith.
Okay.
Stephen A. Smith, man. Stephen A. Smith is a hater.
Yeah.
He spits facts.
How are his Saints doing?
Stephen A., at me and tell me how the Saints are doing, man. Please add us and tell me how to. And you probably won't, but if somebody sees this, ask Stephen A. how the Saints are doing. Because he said the Saints were going to be a problem. Saints ain't no problem, man. Saints ain't no problem.
All right. My first pick for the biggest troll, I'm going to go local and say Elliott Shore Parks.
Oh.
WIP. This guy. Yeah. Every time you read a tweet from him, you're just like, is this real? Does this guy really think what he's saying?
He'll spit out some craziness.
Yeah.
He'll spit out some complete craziness where you're like, what?
Yeah, his name, he got on the map with that first article about Deshaun being a gang member.
He did drop that story.
Which
he did drop.
I'm sure he felt like he had sources or something going into
Where's
that.
his source?
But
did he go to LA?
I have no idea.
Was he hanging out in Compton?
It was I remember reading that article. It was a long article, and I was like, how did he write this without any facts?
And he went to LA.
Yeah, okay.
Get out of here.
But he parlayed that into,
this
career of trolling and hating, and
I mean, you can. You can.
I love when he does the stats in the training camp, of practices. He's like, Jalen was 11 for 12 today for 100 and
no balls touched the ground.
No, don't.
All
What are you doing? What are you doing? You
no one cares. No one cares. Like,
yeah. Anyway, all right.
So my next troll would be Nick Wright.
Okay.
From Fox Sports.
Yeah.
Nick Wright and the Kansas City Chief love and just the over the topness. He falls into the Stephen A. category for me, that he knows his stuff, but sometimes he goes a little bit too far where you're just like, yo, that's not real, man. Get out of here. So Nick Wright is my second choice.
Okay. I'm going to go local again, and I'm going to go the other side of being a troll.
Who?
Jimmy Kempski from Philly Voice, I think he's from.
I think you're right about that.
He's the funniest troll. Like he writes this. Okay, so in the off season, he writes this. Why your team is going to be a dumpster fire, or why are the Cowboys going to be a dumpster fire?
Yeah.
Why are the Giants, Commanders, and then he does one for the Eagles at the end.
Okay,
and then his tweets are just really funny, and it's just he does a good job of next level trolling of the opposing teams and yeah.
Okay.
So he doesn't do it with hate in his heart. He just he pokes fun at people.
He pokes fun
and he
at people.
does it.
All right.
And his stick figure drawings are hilarious. The gifs that he puts together. So yeah, I'll go with him on the positive side of trolling.
All right. Let me think of a positive. No, I can't. I got one more that gets under my skin a little bit,
Okay.
but I do listen to him every now and then. But I've toned down is Acho on
Manuel Acho.
Fox.
Yes.
I used to listen to him and be like, oh, but sometimes he goes over the top with his like breakdowns of why he feels something is the way it is, and sometimes you're like, no, it's not really like that, you know, at all. But
yeah,
that's just my opinion on
right.
Acho. So I got Acho, Stephen A. Smith, and Nick Wright.
Okay,
That's
you went all
three
national.
choices.
I'm going to go all local, so I'm going to keep it here with Howard Eskin.
Damn, he's
he's been doing it for a long time
been doing
too.
It since like the 70s.
Yes.
Yeah, Eskin is he gets a lot of.
I used to love listening to him and calling people dopes and just going at people.
Absolutely
Loves trolling people, and
Jeez.
Yeah, he's just next level.
Eskin gets how many thumbs down, you think? Give him 4 or 2?
I'll give him 2.
I'll give him 2. All right.
Yeah, and I don't really like his son either that much.
Isn't his son do the sports talk radio as well?
Yeah, he does the afternoon shows
with Ike
on WIP. Yeah,
all right.
But he's like the program director.
Okay.
He went up to New York. He was the fan program director for a while, and then he came back.
I got you. And now he's got a job on 94.
Yeah,
right,
but he gave himself the job in the afternoons, taking over for our friend Johnny Marks.
Yeah, you're right about that.
So, yeah, I don't like him that much more.
No.
He's kind of taken after his dad a little bit.
Definitely.
But any honorable mentions?
Let me think off the top of my head. No, I can't think of one right now. Oh, I got an honorable mention. National Colin Coward. Coward. What's the guy's Colin Coward?
Yeah. The Herd. Yeah.
He's my next national hater.
Yeah.
Where he thinks his stuff is gold. And you can't tell him nothing. Mm-hmm. Like I said, he has his facts straight, on some things. Some things you're like, no.
Yeah.
It does not go like that at all. So,
yeah.
But
my local honorable mention is Joe Gilio from WIP. That guy just, just a quick, and I know they're all team content there. It's all about entertainment, but just
entertainment.
It's always, I think he was the first one last year to say they should get rid of Trey Turner. Or the year before, whenever the first year they had Trey Turner and he was
no standing
struggling.
Ovation, just get rid of him.
No, he was just after 3 games he was just like, all right, Trey Turner's a bust, get rid of him.
No, that's
and then he would always be ragging on Reese Hoskins. Jamie Hoskins went after him one time on Twitter.
Oh,
his wife,
all
Reese's
right,
wife.
and that means he was definitely poking the bear a lot. Then.
So whatever. I mean, sports talk, I guess, is meant to be. There's
aggravating and get under somebody's skin
a little bit. Missinelli likes to do it too.
I mean,
which is why he didn't have a job for 4 years.
But he's calmed down. I feel like he's calmed
to.
down from what he was. Absolutely, he's calmed down.
Yeah.
So
this segment is presented by Height Hype. Are you ready to elevate your game? Their Height Track posters are designed to measure your growth side by side with your favorite college athletes, making them perfect for young athletes aiming for the next level. Join the Height Hype community today and start your journey to greatness at heighthype.com.
Get ready for some fire. Here's the hot seat.
Okay.
So next topic.
All right, hot seat.
What are we talking about this week on the hot seat?
Well, this flows right into this too. The Marcus Hayes, Joel Embiid incident happened in the locker room. There's been a lot of debate about should reporters be allowed in the locker room, or should that just be, a safe haven or sacred for the players? I mean, there's a couple different reasons. A lot of them are showering after the game and coming in. I remember Fox Sports had a camera in there, and Delaney Walker took his towel off and is in the background of this
hanging out
camera shot,
just hanging out,
completely naked.
That's
what are we doing here?
It's a locker room.
Yes,
that can happen.
Yes, so you have female reporters going in there, and
so something that I always thought, and I never ever did. I only played a little bit of sports. I never did the shower in the locker room thing. I was like, I'll wait till I get home. I'll never forget. Buddy was like, "You're not gonna shower?" I'm like, "No, I think I'm good." I just thought that was a little bit too much.
Yeah.
For me, but yeah. As far as reporters in the locker room, I feel like they could take them out because I feel we talked about this right when the pandemic happened with COVID. They did the whole virtual where you were talking to them through a computer, through a screen, and you had to be like 6 feet away. They could go back to that, but I don't know. I don't feel like reporters need to be in the locker. Like, what is the benefit or bonus to them being in the locker room? They can still ask the same question on a laptop, or is it just the player is going to be like, well, now I have my privacy, so you're not here with the microphone in my face.
I guess it's because they don't have access to everybody for the press conferences.
Oh, okay.
The team only makes a certain number of guys available.
I got you.
And so in the locker room, you can go talk to whoever you want. Whether they're made available or not. And so that's what the reporters give as the reason why they should be allowed in there, so they can talk to anybody. And it could be somebody that had a horrible game, made the game-ending mistake, and
So they want the inside scoop, and that's what's that for. All right.
So that's their side of it. I do think it's sacred, and I don't think that they need
the locker room
to be in there.
No.
And it led to this situation. Like I said, I don't know why Marcus Hayes has a credential to be in the arena or in the locker room.
He's burned enough bridges and talked enough smack. I'm telling you, he's been talking smack since Allen Iverson.
Haven't they revoked his credential yet?
No, they're not going to. They're not going to. He's gonna puff his chest out and be like, "Yo, I own this. I earned this spot," which. Since 96, 97, maybe even before that. So you can't, unless which I think we both agree that he did something totally egregious and should at least be, punished. But no, nothing's going to happen.
The Eagles would.
the Eagles
would definitely have taken him out.
See, the Sixers management.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Let's not pass the Sixers anymore.
Josh Harris is too busy with the Commanders.
The Commanders and the Devils. Yeah. He's too busy burning all that money, man. He's too busy burning all that money.
All right. Speaking of burning money or not burning money, I want to touch on, just at the end, some news that dropped today.
What?
And not too many people really care about MLS, but
oh, God.
The union,
I don't want to talk about this.
The union manager was let go today.
Fired.
Yeah.
Let go of his position.
I think he did a pretty admirable job. I was never the biggest fan of his, but he did an admirable job with the talent that they gave him.
Yeah.
And it's funny because they would classically talk about the fact that they were still winning. Up until this year, they had a poor year, but up until this year, they were winning, which was given
playoffs.
Which was given as the reason not to spend more money because you have enough talent to win. But then you fire the coach who was doing the best or making the most of the money that you were spending, the small amount of money you were spending.
Turning water into wine.
It just doesn't make any sense. I'm fine with turning the page. And like I said, I wasn't always his biggest fan.
No,
but
I agree with that.
And it probably has run its course by now. But something's got to change. You got to start spending like the bigger teams if you're ever going to have any success.
To me, I had this conversation, and we've had this conversation before, is how is it a Philadelphia sports market, which is a major sports market, won't – because is it that they don't have the money, or is it that the owner's like, I'm not spending the money?
Yeah,
what is the deal?
The owner's moneyballing it. He just wants to –
develop the talent, sell the talent.
Yeah, exactly.
And then just
he's put a lot of money into the academy, and they want to develop that and sell those players and then continue to develop. And that's their model. It's not to buy players. It's not like the other squads in the MLS have just been putting tons of money.
Because I feel like every other MLS team, and I've noticed this in the last 5 years, either European players coming over, a player from South America is coming over. Why aren't what is stunting the union from making those moves? I don't need Messi. You know what I mean? I don't need Messi at the end of his career. That's a pipe dream. Right. But a second tier, like what's a guy plays for Poland, captain Lewandowski.
Oh, Lewandowski. Yeah.
Like is that type of player who's at
He
the
plays
end
for
of
Barcelona now. So
No, I know that, but I'm saying like that tier level of player, like is that too much of an ask for the Union? Yes.
at this point in his career, yes.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think you're seeing that level of player come over yet. I mean, Messi, obviously, but you know what that took.
No.
That took him getting a piece of the team and the revenue from Apple TV and a huge
that
salary.
took an arm and a leg from everybody.
Like, that wasn't happening.
No.
I'm still angry that even was allowed to happen in a league where they say there's so much parity.
Nah.
I mean,
no, there's
yes,
not.
has it grown the league? Yes. I love the move for the league, but like, how were they able to do it and nobody else is given the chance to do something similar?
No, we both agree on that.
You just don't ask those questions. You kind of just like
agree
stay quiet. Just like Ernst Tanner was asked that question at one of the press conferences. He's like, there's nothing I can say that won't get me fined or in trouble with the league, so I'm just going to stop. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So, yeah, I don't know who they're going to be able to find to do as well. They're going to have to start pumping some money into the actual first team rather than just developing talent.
Do they have a talent to have not as terrible a year next year?
Right now, no.
I agree.
Who do you have?
No.
They sold Carranza.
No,
he was like, they had a great year because they had 3 or more interchangeable players. They struck gold with Ty Baribo.
Yeah.
But that was one of the things that I couldn't stand about Curtin. Like, once you got on his bad side, you were like dead to him, and he wasn't going to play you.
No.
Like Chris Donovan was playing over Ty Baribo. And then when they finally didn't have enough players to play, then they finally played Baribo. He was scoring like a goal and a half a game.
And he just got,
And he's like, okay, now like there's no choice but to play him.
Yeah.
I'm like, where was this? He was sitting on the bench for over a year. So that pissed me off because he was. Yeah, Curtin did that with a couple different players that are now like he traded Austin Trusty, who's now playing for Celtic in Scotland. Keegan Rosenberry, who was a great right back, that they shipped him off to Colorado, and now he's an all-star.
Yeah,
he just has some guys just rubbing the wrong way,
and that's it.
And that's it. Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
So yeah,
but
we'll see what happens.
But not to end on a sour note.
Yeah. my buddy and I are becoming Nashville fans, just so we have an excuse to go down to Nashville.
Yo, get out of here. No, you're not.
And then I looked at where Nashville is in the standings, and they had a worse year.
I was going to say that. I think they had a worse year than us. But, yo, you're silly. So, are we wrapping it up for this 11th episode? I think we're
looking forward to the Cowboys game on Sunday.
Definitely. That's at 4 o'clock. Everybody enjoy the game. Yep. Thanks for tuning in. Leave us a comment. Leave us a like. We're going to have some more content coming out this weekend.
Yep.
And just so you know, all day, Dallas sucks.
Yep. Next week's the Thursday night game.
Do we play on Thursday night? They
play Thursday night against Washington. And so we'll be watching that game on Thursday night and then recording on Friday.
I'll put the iPad up.
No.
He's like,
we're going to watch the game and then we're going to record on Friday. So you'll see it come out later on Friday than normal.
Absolutely.
But
everybody have a great night. Go Birds.